Okay, mom. Girl.
Oh my god, homeless look. What?
इसका हुआ क्या है?
पता नहीं सब क्या हुआ?
पता नहीं, he looks
I'm so excited. He's just like, yeah.
But when she sent me this, because she knows I'm obsessed.
What was this?
Okay, guys, I'm gonna let you in on a secret. So we were just talking about the show One Tree Hill. I love that show.
Me too. It was so good.
Fellow One Tree Hill fan. Oh my god, I was obsessed with it. Also, it's totally on like Amazon.
Favorite girl.
Girl? Who do you think was my favorite?
Who?
Who's your favorite?
I actually really like Peyton, but I love
Okay.
Sophia Bush. I forgot what her name was.
I love Sophia Brooke.
Brooke. She's so beautiful.
She was actually, I really liked Brooke this whole time.
Yeah.
But Nathan?
Oh my god.
Nathan Scott. Oh. They're the best.
Elite.
They're the best.
Oh, it was so good.
So we're talking about this, and I was telling her how I have another friend who travels a lot for work.
Yeah.
And she was at the airport, and she saw Chad Michael Murray with his family, and she was like, he has a family, wife and kids. And I think that his kids, I'm gonna assume they're older.
Yeah.
So she was like, she kept looking and was like, oh, like, is that him? Is that him? And she finally was like, you know what, whatever, I'm just gonna go ask. And she went up to him and she was like, Chad? And he's like, hey.
First name basis.
Right, first name basis. And it turns out it was him, and she took a selfie, and I was sharing the selfie.
That's so cool.
But you guys, like, he did not age well.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Chad, I'm sorry.
Chad,
we're
we
huge
still
fans.
like you. We still like you.
But you did not age well. He kind of looks homeless in the photo. Like, I'd wanna.
Airport date.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
oh.
I'm like, if I go to the airport, it's like, no, you gotta have an airport fit.
I mean, you do. You do. But his looks like a homeless fit. It's not really airport. Anyways, any fellow One Tree Hill fans, let us know.
Or like those teeny bopper shows that everyone is all about. What was the show that you're saying you're watching right now?
The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Okay, I need to start this. I'm watching Made in Heaven right now, and it's amazing. Season 2. First season was sick.
I haven't started Made in Heaven. I've heard great things about it.
Oh my gosh.
What's like the premise though? Give me a premise.
Okay, so it basically, first of all, I'm not even into like Indian shows, Pakistani dramas. I don't watch any of those.
Okay.
Honestly, like, sue me. I'm so sorry. I'm probably offending our entire community right now. But I started watching this. The first season came out years ago. Like, I was still at my mom's place, which was before COVID. And I watched it, I think 2019. And when I saw that first season, it was basically about like all these problems that people in the Desi community face. And they like, each episode is about like a different issue. And they're like really prevalent issues in our community.
Okay.
So, like, you know, like skin lightening and like all these crazy things that happen in like the life of a Desi person.
Honestly.
Honest to goodness.
Honestly.
And I was like, this show is another level good. Second season I'm like 3 episodes in. It has been amazing. Wow. Like, I'm blown away.
Okay.
You know what I love about it? It's just so raw and real. It's not like tied in pretty little bow and happy ending all the time. So I really like that.
Okay. I'm going to add it to my list.
Add it to your list. I have to watch The Summer I Turned Pretty because I need a feel-good show.
It's a total feel-good show. It's a total teen drama. But you know what? I have to say, I have been searching for decades for that same, like, One Tree Hill, the OC,
It takes
kind of
back.
innocent, that
Nostalgia.
innocent, yeah, you know? And this is definitely it. This is definitely it. It's so good. Like, the story is, you know, there's nothing crazy about it. It's just like a steady teen drama, which I love. But while we're talking about shows, I just finished The Bear.
Oh my gosh, I just heard about
Okay.
You were telling me about that.
Yes.
And I've been seeing it all over social media.
So The Bear is on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh my gosh.
And
I need
I
to
can't
put this on
even.
my list.
So, like, we turned on the first episode. So my husband had watched season 1 earlier, and season 2 just came out, and he was like, "Aruj, listen, like, I know, like, him and I, we have very different, like, what we like to watch on TV, very different. But he was like, just sit down and watch this with me. You are gonna love it. It's about a chef, and it's about his journey, about how he was a Michelin star chef.
Wow.
At a restaurant in New York, and then his brother passes away, and his brother ran like a sandwich shop in Chicago and decides to pass on the shop to his brother in his will. And now he's coming in from this like very proper kitchen to everything being done in a certain way, and like the night is just busy and to absolute chaos, and to a team of people who cannot be okay with change.
Oh my God.
But then they see his system and they understand where he's going with it and they see his vision and all of a sudden they want that change because they know that it can be better.
Yeah.
It is incredible. And I want to say the character development for each character on this show, I have never seen anything like it on TV.
But you know what? I believe you because I'm not joking when I say so many people online on my Instagram are like, you guys have to watch this. TikTok going crazy for the show.
And if you ever get TikTok ads, it's on Disney Plus.
Okay.
If you ever get TikTok ads and you get so I get like food ads because a lot of my TikTok is like food related, and Borson, which is the cheese company, will make this omelet and you'll understand the ad when you watch the show.
Now
It's so good
because I want to understand.
Oh, you will
Borson
understand.
omelet.
You will understand the Borson omelet once you watch the show.
Wait, have you made the Borson?
I haven't made it yet.
You need to make it.
You know what? I'm gonna make it with some crushed chips on top. Those guys over here who have watched the show, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Sounds really good.
Oh, it is a very good show. I highly recommend it.
Oh my God. What shows are you guys watching?
Yeah, we would love to know.
Because I'm always adding new stuff to my list.
Yep.
Half the time I don't watch it because I just have so much going on, but there's periods of time where I'm like, I'm just gonna binge a show and it's like the best feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that new season just came out that we started is Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Also on Disney Plus, Selena Gomez is in it.
No.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the guy from Cheaper by the Dozen?
Yes.
Steve Martin?
Yes.
No way.
So it's not okay. So I might get some like hate on this or whatever. Okay, so it's like sort of funny, sort of like witty.
Yeah.
It's not scary, so it's but it's like a mystery.
Okay.
And I find that the storyline it's not amazing, but I don't know, it's fun to watch.
Captivating.
It is.
Weird way.
And you know, I like to see Selena Gomez like just be something different on screen because I've always seen her as that Disney like young teen like from the Wizards of Waverly Place. I don't know if you guys ever
cool things.
She's doing such cool things.
I love that for her. I've always really liked her, and I think that she's like it's kind of inspiring that she she's still like this amazing singer, and she's now like she had her own TV show with, like the chefs and stuff.
Yeah, it was good. I really do enjoy the show. I don't think it's like amazing in terms of like the plot or anything like that, but I love watching it, and I'm still watching the new season that came out. So
meanwhile, I'm just sitting here waiting for House of the Dragon to come back, but of course they're gonna make us wait like 25 years. I honestly feel like by the time we ever finish like anything Game of Thrones, I don't even know if we'll be here.
I don't know.
Our kids will be like 85.
And they're like,
so
really?
annoying.
You guys watch this?
I know, but
this is not good.
Telling your kids are gonna love Game of Thrones.
Do you think so?
Yes.
I hope so.
Okay, honest to God, if they can love these Disney movies,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
like they need to elevate their Game of Thrones. Even though I love the Disney movies.
Come on, Disney movies are amazing.
So good.
They're great.
So good.
What is your favorite Disney movie of all time?
Oh my gosh, I love Beauty and the Beast.
Ooh.
I think that's always been one of my favorites. I love Aladdin because that was the first time that I ever saw like a Disney princess.
Right? Yes.
An Arabic princess.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love all of them.
Yeah.
Like all the princess ones I love. Some of them I'm just like, this is kind of boring, but I think they're all really good, especially nowadays when Disney comes out with movies and they do remakes. They're really good. However, some of them I'm just like, this is not that great. Like Little Mermaid was way too long.
Oh gosh.
I was sleeping. My daughter was like, can we go home?
Oh,
I was like, yeah, let's
no way.
Let's go.
Sorry guys, we had a minor interruption.
Baby woke up.
Mom life.
The reality, okay? That's why our podcast is called Okay, Mom.
The duty never ends.
Yeah.
Mom duties never stop.
Once you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah.
No one prepared us for this. It
Yeah.
it is what it is. So you asked me what my favorite Disney movies. What was your favorite Disney?
The original Little Mermaid.
No way.
Yeah.
Good movie.
The original though, I actually haven't
really good.
I haven't seen the new one. But I was obsessed with the Little Mermaid, and we used to have it on VHS.
Yeah.
And I would always just plop it in the VCR, and I'd just be like, and I would just watch it.
too.
Oh my god, I would sing the songs, and I just wanted everything to be like Little Mermaid, and yeah, I was obsessed with it. I liked. Oh, and you know what? After the Little Mermaid, I have to say my next favorite one, which is like not too popular, I guess. But I don't know. It is Hercules.
No, I haven't even seen that.
Oh, I loved Hercules.
When did you watch it?
I don't remember when I watched it, but I remember when it came out, I was obsessed with it. I just love the whole story of Hercules and like, you know, and then my dad took us once to go get a toy. Like he was like rewarding us for stuff. And my sister picked out a Barbie doll and I picked out the princess from Hercules.
Oh, sweet.
So they came out with her like doll and it was like she's wearing this like purple dress and if you pull the strings it like pulls up to a skirt. I still remember. And she was my absolute favorite like Barbie doll that I ever had.
Oh my god. Isn't it odd though? Because when I look back at like getting toys and stuff from our parents, it was like the best time of my life. And honestly, like I know it's special for our kids too, but I do feel like because like, you know, thanks to God and whatnot, we are blessed.
Yes.
Like we can get our kids toys and things more often for like birthdays. My parents never got me anything. Honestly, they were just like, eh.
Yeah.
But you know, like I don't know if like, do you think our kids value toys the way that we
No.
do? Because I don't feel like they do.
No.
Like
I'm just gonna flat out.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no. I feel like the novelty has run out.
For sure.
And my kids expect a toy now, almost like literally even when you're going grocery shopping.
I know.
Like there's little Hot Wheel cars on the end of an aisle. So it's not like a thing. It's not like you're being gifted for something.
Yeah.
Okay, you're just gonna come and pick up eggs and milk with me? Okay, I wanna get a Hot Wheels car.
gosh.
And it's like, you know, sometimes I'm like, really, am I gonna fight this right now? It's a $2 car. Like just pick
your
it up and let's go,
battles.
right?
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like the whole gifting, it's not as fun as it used to be.
not.
The toys aren't as appreciated.
Yeah.
And then I feel like we just end up with so much stuff.
my gosh.
I was actually talking to my son's daycare center and I was like, do you guys accept toys? Because I have so much stuff.
Yeah.
And she was like, honestly, if it's in good condition, like give it. Like
I love
we
that.
will take it.
That's actually a great idea. I never thought of that.
Yeah. So, idea for anybody out there.
Yeah.
So if you have any toys that they're great, they're used, but they're great condition, like see if any centers will take them.
Honestly, I feel like I'm so sick of like the clutter, which I know it's like one of those things that when that phase is over, you're gonna miss it so much.
I know.
But sometimes I'm just like, this is excessive.
It is.
Like it's too much for me, and I feel like I just don't even know what to do. Like for me, I always tell my daughter, like, just because we're going to the store does not mean you're gonna get a toy. Like just because it's your cousin's birthday doesn't mean you come to the store and then you get a toy. Just because I feel like for me, I just want to I want her to know that you can't just get whatever you want whenever you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I totally get what you're saying, because you really do have to pick your battles, and I don't think that our kids honestly value the things, like getting things the way that we did.
They don't.
Because girl, my mom bought me like, it was probably like a $2 coloring book. Till this day I have memories of getting that coloring.
Right?
The Beauty and the Beast coloring book, going back to Disney. And it was just like, oh my god, like did she really get me this? And I remember what happened too. She asked all of us what type of coloring book we would want, and we were all sitting down, and my sisters were like, Barbie, and I was like, Beauty and the Beast, and she just went to the closet and pulled it out, and I was like, you're magical, you're like a fairy. And I think we were like 6 or 7.
Oh wow.
Such a core memory.
I have a core memory of it was Eid and my mom got my sister and I matching suits made, and then she like took us to the mall because we wanted to get these like really crazy chokers to match the outfit from Claire's.
Claire's was the shit.
It was, you had to go there. Oh, if it's, you needed to get your jewelry from there.
Yes.
And I remember my sister and I were so excited because it was like a brand name store and like we're getting this amazing blinged out jewelry that was so tacky, but you had to wear it. And oh my god, but you had to wear it, and we wore it and we were matching twinsies, and I have that. Like I still remember the way the necklace looked like as we purchased it.
Oh my god, I love that.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I love that. I think those are like, it's like such a simple memory,
It is.
but it's so beautiful and it stays with you forever.
It does.
This is kind of like those stories that our parents tell us where it's like, you guys have it so easy. Like back in our day, you know, we had to like run to like the store next to us to pick up the phone to call anyone.
100%.
And I was just like, you guys are so old school.
Yeah. And now we're gonna tell these stories to our kids. Yeah.
Like, what's that?
What's a landline?
Walkman.
What do you mean you had to wait for the internet to load? Do you remember dial-up?
So annoying. What's MSN? Let me tell you, MSN was the coolest thing ever. Okay?
Okay.
Like, you know the sign in, sign out, sign in, sign out.
I was just gonna say the best way to get anybody's attention on MSN.
Right?
First, you change your status. You change your name. Okay, you add a little bit of like hearts and stuff,
with, like,
and then
squigglies and
sign in,
hearts.
sign out, sign in, sign out, and you just pop out on the side of somebody's screen.
And then it was like, oh, you want me to notice you? Well, I noticed.
Ooh, I know. Let me just click. Let me just click your message.
And then I'd always put myself to away or busy, but I was never busy. I was just staring at my
Who's gonna message me now? And the little orange line would blink at the bottom, and you're like, oh, who's messaging watching me
I
now.
feel like all the newer gen is watching this saying, what the heck are you guys talking about?
I know.
What is MSN?
We're old people.
We're not that old. We're cool, okay?
We're not. We're cool moms.
Okay. Like, no offense or anything. We were the ones that set these trends. All these trends that everyone does right now, I think about it, I'm like, you know, like they have those like headbands.
Yeah.
We did that.
We did that.
Okay. Like, what else did we do?
Platform shoes.
The flared arms.
Flared arms.
Flared jeans.
Okay, first of all, baggy jeans. I'm sorry. They're all like, oh, canceling skinny jeans. Da, da, da. Listen to me. You can't cancel it. We brought it.
No, but I want to see these same people that are loving this really baggy jean 10 years from now when you're looking at your pictures and you're like, I can't even. I'm so embarrassed with myself because that was us.
That was us.
And now when it comes back, we're just like, are we really going to jump on this trend?
Yeah.
Are we going to do it? Of course we are, but like we know what happened last time when we wore baggy jeans. We know what happened. And like the low rise jeans, like that's not happening now. That's one trend that I'm like,
I know you're saying that. You're saying that now.
No.
Watch next podcast. She's gonna be wearing them.
I refuse. Okay. This is like that scene in the movie where it switches to like you're saying I refuse, and then the next scene is, hey, have you liked my low-rise jeans?
I went shopping today,
but I can't. That's one trend that I can't do.
I didn't do it when it was trending when we were younger either. I didn't do it.
I did.
I didn't wear low-rise jeans. No.
I wore low-rise jeans, but I definitely was not the one that was like showing my stomach.
Yeah.
I would have got
popped. So you know what it is? What I'm actually loving about trends right now is that, so growing up, I was actually always a bigger child.
Yeah.
So like I weighed more and I was taller, and so a lot of these trendy clothes, they didn't fit me.
Yeah.
And so now that I've been on this kind of like weight loss journey and I've like lost my baby weight and I'm focusing on myself and working out and doing all these things, I love hopping on the trends because I'm reliving my childhood.
Oh, I love that.
So I feel like I want to wear the baggy jeans and I want to do the middle part and I want to wear the like flare arms or whatever because I just could never find things in my size growing up. Yeah, it was crazy. I have a lot of like that kind of childhood trauma. You know how a few episodes ago we were talking about like childhood trauma from like parents? I have a lot from like peers and body image and like growing up as a child of immigrants and like trying to fit in and like it's a lot of that.
The growing up as a child of immigrants and trying to fit in, that's a big one.
It's a big one.
I feel like, you know, I think it was weird for our parents to understand us at that point when we were going into high school and like middle school and even sometimes even elementary. Like you just want to fit in, you just want to feel normal. But for them it was just like, no, you should have the confidence to just be okay with who you are. But for us it was just like we never felt like we were ever in, you know what I mean? It was always like we were on the outs. And I also feel like when we started school, like even though we did have a lot of kids that were not like white, it was still like, you know, you didn't see a lot of your type of people. And you always felt like, I'm different.
Yes.
I'm not okay. Whether it's like the lunches your mom gave you or
always.
the clothes you wore. Because we actually wore like suits to school for a long time.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
Like desi kapre. Yeah. I wore shalwar kameez all the time in school.
No way.
Yeah, and some of my grad photos and some of my class photos are in shalwar kameez.
I never knew this about you.
Yeah, I didn't know this about you either though.
We were the only unicorns.
No.
And honestly, that was so traumatizing for me because I was like, why did my parents do that to me? And I remember even asking my mom, being like, I don't understand, like, why? And I think she was just like, I guess we just thought that, like, that
it was
like,
okay.
Yeah. And it's, like, modest. You know what I mean? But then after that, I was like, hey, we're still modest.
Yeah. So for me, I found that I had a lot of pride in who I was from, like, grade 4 or 5 to about grade 6. I was very proud of who I was. I loved that I was from Pakistan. I loved that I was different. I loved that not everybody understood. I love that people were curious about my name and where I'm from and what I'm wearing. And I wanted to kind of wear the like shalwar kameez and the desi attire. I was okay with it. And then I went to middle school. And the bullying and the body image issues and the change room talk and all of that kind of came down on me. And immediately I went into a shell. And I was in a shell for a very long time. I became a turtle. Like I know that about myself.
I can see.
And then I feel like when I was in my second year at university or at the end of my first year, I went to York. And I just was so unhappy with like who I was, and I hated being in university because I had no friends, and I was dealing with like the first year campus blues, which I know everybody can relate to, but it's kind of like you don't know where your classes are, you're just a number, you're a single like student in a massive class of like 400 kids. you don't know what they're talking about. You have to make your own schedule and show up on time, and if you don't, nobody cares. It's crazy. It's not like a 8 to 4 like school schedule anymore.
Exactly.
And then I was busing it to school. I didn't know how the bus system worked, and like it was so much all at once that I was really unhappy. And I found at the end of my first year, I was like, I need to do something about myself because I am not in a good place. And I started losing a lot of the weight. I started working out, and I started like changing my eating habits. And then like Ramadan came, and I took my fasting very seriously and dropped even more weight. And then I feel like I slowly, I want to say when I turned like 19, 20, 21 is when I kind of regained who I was. And I realized, you know what, this is who I'm going to be. This is what I'm about. And this is what I want to do moving forward. And so these are like a few turning points in my life that I still can go back to and remember that these things changed and molded me to who I am today.
I feel like that experience that you're sharing where you felt like things changed in middle school is like a really big one. Like I feel like when I was in elementary school I got bullied really badly, so immediately it was just like, oh, I want everyone to like me.
What can I do
for everyone to like me? So you become this people pleaser. But I also think in our families we're taught to be people pleasers
100%,
right? Where it's like, don't talk back. If someone's like older than you, don't say this, don't say that. But then as you grow older, you're just like, oh my god, everything I do is just so like submissive. You know what I mean? And you just become this person that you probably weren't supposed to be. And I think like a lot of that like stuff that's happened in your younger years, it's so crazy because you're like, I was a child, like you should let go, like you should be able to move past it, but you carry that with you even into your adult years. Like even now I'm talking to you about like wearing shalwar kameez to school, and I'm just like twiddling my thumbs because I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I did that. And you know, a part of you is just like, oh my gosh, like that was really, it was hard having to be like the literally handful of people that had to look so completely different and feel so different inside. But I think then what happens is that you try so hard to fit in that you're almost trying too hard to fit in.
I get
right? That it's just like, no, like now I'm just gonna be a complete rebel because I just need to do anything I possibly can just to fit in. So it's like a weird.
It is. I feel like the children of immigrants, we've been through some things that only we can relate to.
Our kids, I don't think they would ever understand because they don't have parents that have gone through those things. You know, because that's a very different experience. But I also think that like a lot of the things that we went through now with our kids, it's like, I will never let my kid do that. Like I would never be like, no, Emma, you're gonna have to wear this to school. Unless it's like, but I'm also like a big believer in like, I want people to know her culture. I want people to know where we come from. Even though like I wasn't born in Pakistan, my parents were, but I honestly at the end of the day, like that's my parents' birth country. And like I do love it. I haven't gone there a lot, but like you just naturally have a love for the place that your parents came from because they speak so highly of it and they have the best memories from that place. And I think it's, you know, our culture is so vibrant and rich and like it's full of so many amazing things that I don't necessarily want my children not to have that in their lives. So I think it's important for them to have that, but I also don't want them to be in a position where they feel traumatized. Like Emma goes to like a very predominantly white school and she's like the token Pakistani girl, right? Or like the token, like, you know, desi. And so it's just different because I think for me, because of the stuff that I went through, I'm like, I never want her to feel left out. I always want to make sure she's like really well dressed and like, you know, she's always really put together and everything. And I think a lot of that is because of everything that's happening to us. But it also scares me because I think I don't want to push that too much. Because I also don't want her to feel like I have to be a certain way to be accepted. You know? So it's tricky.
It's a balance that you're just trying to.
It's a fine line, right?
And I feel like we're still learning our identity. Like, yes, I was born here. You know, I identify as a Canadian, but there are some things about me that are just so Pakistani, right? And there are just some things that I'm just not gonna let go. And so it's funny how you mentioned like Emma being the token like Desi girl in her school. Before I put Ibrahim in Montessori, I took him to this like outdoor program, and you would take, it was in Burlington, and you would take your child there, and it was like a 1 hour or 2 hours. I don't remember. I don't remember how long it was now. But I remember you would take your child and it was completely outdoors, and no matter rain, snow, shine, like it did not matter. It was outdoor because they were really pushing like that nature and that kind of like. And he was the token brown boy, and I was the token brown mom.
Wow.
And I found, and because all the moms had to stay, because you had to be there to like watch the kids. And I found that the educator that was running that program would constantly be coming to me and just talking to me about like, oh yeah, we try to be very multicultural, and we're trying to really like adapt and, you know, bring kids in from different, you know, areas, and what languages do you speak at home and all these things. And I was very offended.
Yeah, I feel like that.
I didn't like it.
Too.
Yeah, I didn't like it. And, you know, a couple of times here and there, I was like trying to be nice, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna answer her questions because maybe she's just curious. Aruj, don't always, you know, take it the wrong way. And then by the end of it, I ended up pulling him out of the program.
Yeah.
Because I found that I don't want to say necessarily isolated him, but I felt that she would put him on the spotlight a lot just because of the fact that he was different.
Do you think that she was doing that because maybe she wanted him not to feel a certain way, or do you think she wanted him to feel singled out and like you're different?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I felt like it was one or the other.
Yeah.
Other times I felt like she was doing it because she had like a program person with her, and she wanted to make the program person seem like she's very inclusive with everybody in this program.
Yeah.
You know, it was almost for personal gain.
Yeah.
And I think that when that thought sat in my mind,
then it just kind of ruins.
I was like, I'm pulling him out. I can't take him here anymore.
You know what? I think a lot of that is like, for me, like hearing that, I'm just like, I think maybe they try it because they want to like be like, oh, well, we want to include you and we want you to be a part of it, and I want to be so open-minded. But I think the approach is not always good because maybe there's like a lack of education with how to approach a situation like that.
Yep.
Because I think singling, like, you know, you just have to treat everybody the same.
Yeah.
Treat everybody the same.
Mind you, he was 2 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and if he's in nature and he's exploring things, like, let you run your program.
Yeah, exactly.
Run your program the way you would, and let him also explore the way any other kid in the program would. And I think that's what bothered me the most, is that you're not running your program the way you would if he because he's here.
Yeah.
And if he wasn't here, you wouldn't be doing this.
That's so true.
There's a lot of things that you're saying that I know you wouldn't say to any other parent.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just felt uncomfortable, and I had to pull him out. And I'm hoping that, you know, there are certain things that I want to teach my kids, and I know one of them is just learning to like stand up for yourself.
Oh, and that's a big one.
It's a big one. Yeah. You know, if you are uncomfortable in a situation, I hope that I can provide them with tools to get them to stand up for themselves and walk away from that situation. Like, you know, I brought this up before about like change room talk.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of stuff that was said in change rooms when I was starting grade 6 onward, because all of a sudden you have to change your gym clothes, and all of a sudden you're like in a change room of like beautiful, I don't know how they look like that in grade 6, because I didn't look like that in grade 6, but beautiful girls with the perfect quote unquote bodies who just had, you know, the right bras to wear and things that they were equipped with that I didn't have, that I didn't know of, because nobody was allowed to talk about it in the home.
Exactly.
And so you're anxious and nervous, and like, we weren't allowed to shave our legs.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to do any of that stuff. And these girls were talking about getting waxed and getting their eyebrows done and doing all these things. And I was like, you were allowed to get your eyebrows done?
I feel like I had a very different experience in change.
Did you?
I just felt like I was a very shy person, like very timid. When I was younger, and like a lot of the times I would just kind of be like, first of all, I could never change in front of somebody in a change room. Like, it was just hella awkward for me. So there was girls that were like, and I was like, how, like,
I would be the like my shirt with the shirt like squirming into another one,
trying to find the technique where like you can take a shirt and put another shirt on, you know, and like, you know, I'm not judging them, like, do your thing, but it was just like a very foreign kind of thing for me.
Yeah.
But this whole talk about like shaving and waxing, I didn't even know that thing existed. Like, I had no idea. Like, I think maybe this is something that I just learned from my older sisters.
Yeah.
But That's a lot. I
Yeah,
think,
they
like,
so
when
they
you
can
have
talk
body image issues
Yeah.
and then you're dealing with that. That's a lot to take in.
Yeah, and then I just remember the bullying. Like, it just would not stop. I have a distinct memory, and this, I guess, would be considered a core memory, but we were buying our gym uniforms.
Yeah.
And we're all lined up by the bench, and the teacher is sitting there, and then she's like, okay, you give your cash, whatever, $5, $10 for your gym uniform. And she looks up and she's like, okay, what size do you want me to get for you? And she'll write it down, and it's my turn, and somebody at the end of the line is like, she's obviously an extra large.
Stop. Are you lying?
And it's the first day of gym class. Like, nobody has uniforms. We haven't even gone into the change room
my
yet.
God.
Grade 6. And she says this.
Like, now I think about it, I'm like, kids are ruthless.
Oh, ruthless.
Like, ruthless.
mean.
Girl,
Okay.
so mean. You're saying this happened to you in middle school. That
Yeah.
broke my heart.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And I was like, how old are you in grade 6? 12? 11? 10? I don't even
But
know.
I can honestly relate to that because I feel like I got bullied in elementary school when I was in grade 2.
Oh,
And
man.
like, I remember there were these 2 girls and they would take my running shoes and throw them in the lost.
Stop.
I swear. And my mom actually came in and she was just like, why are you, like, my mom stuck up for me. I was like, yes,
very
go,
good.
girl. But it didn't stop, right? And then you carry that with you. So like something like that at an older age, when you're actually able to like
Yeah.
see where it's coming from, that's a lot.
Yeah. And I know maybe like, you know, maybe now looking back at it, I'm like, oh, it's not that big of a deal.
It is a big deal.
But honestly, if I put myself back in the shoes of like a 10, 11, 12-year-old
No,
and
it's
somebody's saying it at the back of the line and it's sticking to me like this, words like hurt and they stick with you.
much.
And I remember after that, I was like, I'm going to hate gym class.
Oh my God.
And then you never participate anymore.
Yeah.
Like so many of my actions were dictated because of that one comment.
Yeah.
I never once I didn't have to take gym in high school, like I think in grade 11, 12, you don't
dropped it.
need to.
Yeah.
I dropped it. I never took it again. You know, like anytime we had to be partnered up with someone, I would make sure I wasn't partnering up with somebody who I knew was just so much physically like able
my
to do
God.
better than me. It dictated so many of my decision making.
Sad that like these things start at such a young age and then they lead you into your childhood and then you still have those like body image issues.
Yeah, definitely.
It scares me though for our new generation because like when I think of my children, like I am like mama bear 100%. Like I think with my kids, I'm a very vocal mom and I'm like the type of mom that's like, if somebody says something about my kid or to my kid, like you better watch it because I will say something. And like I don't think I was like that type of a confrontational person because I don't think my parents were super confrontational. They always told us like kill them with kindness.
Oh, I know.
I am so not the kill them with kindness girl.
I know.
It just worked for me.
I know.
It just doesn't. But I also think that like you're a teacher, and I think you deal with a lot of this stuff. So I think that you like. I mean, kudos to you for having to even talk about that because it's hard to talk about things like this at this age. But I feel like it gives you an opportunity now to be like such a big advocate for your kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I try, you know,
Yeah.
and I feel like I am learning, and I think it's just going to be a lifelong process
For sure.
to undo the people pleasing.
Yes.
And to learn to stick up for myself so that I can provide those tools to the kids.
For sure.
Right? Because
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
How do you teach your kids to stick up for themselves? Like
When you don't really know how either.
I know, but like, what do you tell your kid? Like hypothetical here, if somebody came and like pushed Ibrahim,
Okay.
what is your go-to?
Okay,
And
so-
I'll tell you why.
Okay. Right now, if I say I'm like, my blood is boiling and I'm like, oh my God, no.
Like take him out.
Yeah. So if that was to happen, I would approach like the kid and my son, and I'd
Yeah.
look at them and I'd be like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Did something happen?
Yeah.
And then I want to know what happened.
Yeah.
And then I want to know if Ibrahim did something to provoke it first.
Yeah.
I think I'd want to get down to that.
Yeah.
And be like, did you do something? Did you say something? Did you hit him first? Is this retaliation?
But what if the parents get involved and they're like, do you ever think about that? Like you say something to someone else's kid.
Yeah.
Right? And then, do you think that their parents would get offended?
I mean, if they do, I think I'd still have to talk to them.
I think that's important.
You know, and I just be like, listen, I understand that you're getting upset, but also I have a kid too, and I am also upset.
Yeah,
So
for
let's revisit this topic.
Yeah.
And
I love
figure out what happened.
Yeah.
Right. But I think I would actually have to just ask the kid, be like, listen, if my son is not in the wrong,
Yeah.
then I would just look at him and be like, do not use your hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you have a problem with something, use your words.
Yeah.
I don't want to see this happening again. And I can say that with the way I can say it in the exact words that I said it to you, because I say it to kids in my classroom all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Because kids push kids.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
happens, right? And if it's unprovoked, then you have to go in and be like, use your words.
Yeah.
Don't use your hands.
Yeah.
You can hurt someone.
Yeah,
You
for
don't
sure.
know your physical
For sure.
ability when it comes to somebody else.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what I would have to do.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, you're probably gonna judge me, teacher, but
Girl, go ahead. I'm not judging. No judgment zone.
This is honestly, maybe it's just like the mama bear in me. But I always tell my daughter that like you never start the fight, but if someone really throws hands, you end the fight.
Oh,
like girl,
listen to me.
I just feel like you gotta raise strong kids.
You do.
Like, that's where I'm at, and I just feel like, you know, like I know how my daughter is. I know that she would get really sad if somebody hurt her, and she's not even the type that would be like fighting back. But I also want her to know that like you are not allowed to touch me. So like there have been times where she'll say like, oh, this person pushed me, and I know that it was just in play, like they were running and they pushed each other. But I always tell her that like, listen, first of all, if somebody pushes you, you say, don't touch me. You're not allowed to touch me, period. Because no, you're not allowed to touch me, right? But I also think that like if somebody is actively like hurting you, then you have every right to defend yourself. And I want her to know that, because I think sometimes you're in a position where like maybe your child did tell the teacher, but that teacher has like 30 other kids that they're watching, right? And in that case, I'm gonna get the call to the principal's office.
It's all good.
I'm gonna call you and be like, hey, listen, this is a situation. How do I handle this the best way?
Listen, I'm gonna be real about something, because these are two different scenarios.
Yeah.
If I caught a kid pushing my kid, this is how I would handle it. If a kid is hurting my kid, my kid is fighting back.
100%.
My kid is fighting back.
I am like, let me get in there.
Yeah.
Like, does the mom want to start?
Yeah, because that's just unacceptable. Like, bullying is gonna happen no matter what. It exists everywhere. Children, teenagers, adults. Come on, like workplaces. There's bullies everywhere.
The mom shamers.
Oh, there's bullies everywhere. So I think
mom shaming next.
Okay, yeah, because it's too much.
No, I have the funniest story for the next one.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
You're right.
So actually, do you want to wrap this one up? And then
let's wrap it up.
We can talk about mom shaming in the next one?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, but anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. We would love to hear any sort of, I don't know, if you guys are comfortable sharing some childhood memories from your middle school, or
what would you do if your kid was in school and they got into it with somebody? Like, what would your reaction be? Because I think a lot of moms would have maybe similar, and some would have different reactions to certain things depending on their vibe. But you're Rexdale and I'm Malton, so you know what our vibe is.
You know where we're coming from. Shout out to all the Rexdale and Malton moms. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
See you later.
Bye.